It was our mutual idea. It came into being really through the simple act of deciding to ask our neighbors if we could harvest from their orange tree. Honey, do you want to talk about it?
Just that, you know, there's fruit we could see from our backyard that nobody's eating, so.
And we have 3 children, and they go through a lot of fruit. And in the last year that we've been through in our finances and our family experiences, we have learned how to be very frugal and have to take care of ourselves in ways that are, I think, pretty streamlined. So, you know, we got courageous enough to ask our neighbors if we could harvest their oranges, and it was so prolific, it really got us talking about just how much food there is in the city of Vallejo and how simple it would be, in certain terms, organizing a volunteer group to go out and harvest and then redistribute it to families like ours all over town.
We started having the idea in July, I think, and then we planned and we put together a steering committee, and our first harvest was on August 29th.
That's right. So as of right now, we have yet to meet our 2-month mark in our new nonprofit, and it's been quite unbelievably successful.
We have a group of about 8 that are hardcore volunteers that come to every harvest, and then we probably have another 10 or 12 that come when they can.
We're constantly looking for new volunteers, and we plan on growing substantially by the spring harvest. So our volunteer base really must grow and to accommodate the kind of harvesting that we plan on accomplishing by then.
Oh, I've been friends with Adrienne since more than a year ago. She knows that I have a passion for gardening, and when they were planning this organization, she asked me to attend the meeting, and I've been with it since the beginning.
I think the message is that there's enough, there's abundance in this town. There's tons of food.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
There's
literally
tons of food. Every weekend there's tons of food, especially during the fall and the spring harvests, so we're sure of it. Yeah, there's enough to go around. Yeah, you can say.
Well, if someone contacts us and lets us know what they have, they've got an apple tree, our team will go there, and when we first get to the house, we clean up everything that's on the ground, all the fruit that's already fallen. We rake up all the leaves, and then we put tarps down so that anything that falls after that we know it comes straight off the tree. Mm-hmm. We pick the tree to the amount that the property owner would like us to. Sometimes they want some stuff left, and we'll do that. Then we weigh it when we're there. We give the property owner what they would like, mm-hmm. and we leave the place better than it was when we got there, and we bring the fruit.
I take note of what the address is, with the homeowner's name, the contact information, how many volunteers, all their names, and when we started, when we finished, and I put the poundage of what kind of fruits we've collected. So I have a little thing, I add it up, and they weigh on this, and I dump it in the bin, and they take it to the trucks for distribution.
This year is really, like I said, it's not even October 29th. Of 2011 will be our 2-month mark, and we have harvested 5,300 pounds of fruit. Yes, it's amazing. Over 2.5 tons of food with a handful of volunteers and a lot of goodwill. Very simple tools, no special training, and
a big variety of stuff too, you know,
yeah.
Not just apples. We've got apples, pears, oranges, lemons, limes, mm-hmm. persimmons, prickly pears.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite unbelievable how much food there is in this town. We know that after having gone through this experience, with what little resources we have, with our hand of happy volunteers, 2.5 tons of food is a lot of food. We feel confident that with the right resources, with a broader volunteer base, we could harvest a ton of food every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
really know. It's fun because I get whenever I'm here, I know a lot of kids end up coming, and so I get to play with them. I'll hang out with them, especially when my good friends are there, like Rory and Marley.
Well, we were very serious before we rolled out Food Rescue as a project. We spent a lot of energy and time conceiving of the kind of organization that we wanted to have. And one of the things we're very clear about, because we've done some volunteer organization in the past in other contexts, is there has to be an implied sense of trust. So we created a system by which all the volunteers go through a volunteer orientation process. There are forms they sign, liability release forms and such like. We take on the burden of making sure that anyone who comes to someone's home under the Food Rescue banner has been successfully vetted and is someone that we can vouch for. Honestly, the whole success of our program, of our whole project, is based on relationships of trust.
And so she was she called me. I was one of the first ones that started with her, and I've been here ever since. Yeah, I love it. I'm passionate about this. It's a great idea.
I'm so happy with how many people showed up and what a nice job they did, and glad that the fruit's not going to waste and going to a good cause.
Amador Street Hope Center, the Global Center for Success. I think she's working with the AIDS Coalition. Vallejo Together takes them every week for their homeless programs.
Wow. You want to take that one?
Sure. I think just from the little amount that has happened in 2 months, that it could, like Adrian already said, it could be huge. Once you start seeing fruit trees and you drive around Vallejo, they are everywhere. Yeah. And I think the only outreach we had was through friends and through the newspaper. I think if there are tons of people who don't know about Food Rescue, and I think once people start to know about it, that it could just be, like Adrian said, a ton of fruit a weekend.
A literal ton of fruit a weekend. We also have other programs that we'll be rolling out very soon, actually. Our community fruit tree harvest program is the first element of the Food Rescue plan, but we have other plans that we plan on doing as well. Related to our Food Rescue community fruit tree harvest program is the canning consortium, in which after we've harvested the fruit, we go through the fruit, we make sure that the bruised and blemished fruit is separated from the more pristine fruit. That food gets delivered to our food bank friends. The other food gets utilized in other ways, food that may be passed over in other contexts. So that often gets canned, and we've got this whole canning thing going on. We're also developing gardens that will be producing vegetables for the same idea, either encouraging gardeners to help plant extra rows for distribution, or garden plots that we would cultivate so that we could then share food with our neighbors and the people in Vallejo who need it. And lastly, one of the programs that we're excited about, very nascent program, is a hunger-free food map. We hope to enlist hikers and people who love the outdoors to document where they find publicly accessible food so that we can create a map, a beautiful map, and hopefully something that's been adopted by artisans who can create something really magical, so that we can start documenting where all the public food is, and we can give those maps away to people who would like to go find that food. We have a lot of need because our intention is to grow to the point where we can absolutely maximize everything that Vallejo has to offer. Currently, like we said, we're doing all this work with a handful of fruit pickers, a rickety old ladder, people are driving their own cars. We would like to roll out in the spring. We would like to have 3 harvests going on simultaneously. That would mean that we would like 3 trucks. We need food storage facility. Currently that's in our home. Yeah. We would like to see that change. We need office space. We need some help with office administration.
We want people to return phone calls, answer emails, things like that. If you wouldn't feel physically able to go out and harvest fruit, those would be great things.
There's lots of opportunities to volunteer that have nothing to do with climbing on a ladder. We've got, like I said, about second shift, which is going through the fruit. That's a really important element of what we do, because no waste is an important, that's key to what we consider success.
Fruit.
Sorting fruit, and so I see you have 3 containers. So what's each box for?
This one is the ones that we're taking out. This is bad, that's good, and the ones outside are really bad.
I see.
So ensuring that all the viable food gets truly consumed as viable food, we need help with that, you know?
And by the time people come back from picking fruit, that's the last thing they do. So other people came in.
Well, I really like that kids get to come and sometimes even like blown up some from my school sometimes. Actually, on the first day we were there, Rory and Stella's friend and sort of my friend Cece were there, and we were in the back of a truck sorting the fruit. And they ended up singing songs, and it was really fun. But we were actually.
We got a call from. We got a text from Adrian.
Yeah.
Saying, come over and pick apples. So we did, and it was really fun.
It's a fruit picker, and it's an extendable pole, so it'll reach up to like 20 feet. It's got a little claw thing on the top of it, and you stick it up there under the fruit, put the claws up, yank it, and then the fruit falls in a little basket. So you don't have to get on a ladder to use it. So you can, most trees we've done this year, we got the fair amount of the fruit without using a ladder, with using the fruit pickers instead.
It has a 20-foot extension.
Yeah, it'll extend all the way.
Yeah, so that and a ladder, you can really, you can find fruit at the top of
the tallest tree.
Pretty much the tallest tree. We've seen some tall trees, but yeah, they're great, terrific.
Website? Our website is food-rescue.com.
Yes, it is.
There is a dash or dot.
It's food-rescue.com.
And we're also on Facebook. You just type in Food Rescue and go.
There's plenty of need in this town, but there's also plenty of food in this town. And we are very happy to have conceived of the simple idea of being the person who goes to where the resource is and bringing it out to where the need is.